Chapter 4, Hush. So, Jesse, question time. Do you honestly think I approve of what you did earlier today? Asked the invisible voice. But now Jesse knows it's him. It just is. It could be no one else. And if he was around, his brother couldn't be too far off. Tell me, Jesse, do you honestly... I don't care what you approve of or what you don't approve of. I wasn't selling myself like some... Yes, you were. You were whoring yourself, and like your words you weren't willing to finish using, a piece of meat. And don't interrupt me again. And now Jessie feels as her voice begins to break. It's black canvas time, and she is all that's been penciled in on this hour of judgment. The shoot was... What's the cat got your tongue trying to word out? Respectable? Or good taste, maybe? A full, honest, respectable gig, huh? Wanting good taste, huh? Yeah, that's why that faggot photographer had you in some laced underwear from the waist down, lying on your stomach, looking back at the camera all suggestively. Yeah, suggestive. I'm guessing you would avoid using that word to describe it, especially since you and I in that suggestive look have history. And remember, you only given it to me just before I come up behind you and, hey, raged Jessie. You cannot fool me. I know how you women think. Everything is a cover-up. You will mask everything you do and will do what you do that you flat out know that is wrong, but pretend you did something else and pretend it was right. But I have eyes all over you and inside of you, and I see nothing but the truth. It's the following day now, and that's just about everything she remembered of the night she slept prior. That and the entire time felt stuck in sleep paralysis. Her stuck in that world of cold sweat and tears. Her and with her ever-persistent breathing. Just so agonizing and exhausting to deal with. Was she asleep through much of it? Half asleep? Or really awake fully? She didn't know and she couldn't tell. And the thing with sleep paralysis was, it wasn't that easy to rationalize it. If they're here, I'm not leaving LA like I left all those other towns they chased me out of. All I want to do is dance, that's all, commands Jezebel, putting her foot down. And not giving into the hysteria again, not this time. Since Tennessee, since leaving the city of her birth of Nashville, she had first tried to get the hell out of Dodge by leaving not too far off. Just to Memphis, and to see if that was all that was needed to leave behind the life she had lived before all of this had begun. But the brothers had found her there and terrorized her from that town. She had then driven all the way to Iowa, again someplace to hide, just hide and start anew. But they once again came and terrorized her out of from there too. From there to Wyoming, then down to New Mexico, to Utah, Arizona, city after city, town after town. She'd escaped to and only come across the path of the Twin Riders again. And again, and again, and again. It's been 4 hours and some minutes she's been lying on her white-tiled bathroom floor in her white underwear, staring at nothing. Why is everything so red? How she got here, she can't tell you. What was she doing before, she no longer remembers. Rubbing her hands back and forth over the sense of her fishnet stockings, all slow and sensually. Slow and sensually. Slow and sensually, slow and such. Back, forth, at one point, accidentally running her hand between her legs to give herself something to change this feeling, or was it accidental? But, no. Don't start that. She doesn't. Afraid later tonight Billy would then bring it up and berate her all over again. Although, doing it never gave her a sense of poise and peace like every other time she told herself it would. Soothing and no. Sensuality being a sin did nothing but make everything feel quite the opposite, as it would sharpen all her senses and sensitivity, making everything experience seem much more laceratingly pleasing than they had been to start with, turning the pleasure into pain, the pain into fury, and the fury into fire. Hellish fire. No, just wasn't worth it. It's been at least 4 hours now she's been hanging her head down here low, where she's been most mellowing out. pounding out the doldrum moments. Music coming from outside her bathroom window to her right. Her bathroom illuminated with a red light fixture that made the atmosphere very reminiscent of a roaring 20s suicide scene, with hot jazz playing over plastic eyes. The melody dwindling from glad to sad, and oh so sad now, miserable. As the record begins skipping, and now it won't stop, just won't stop since the audience has been rendered dead, deceased. I don't know. Jesse says and thinks something very, very hellishly beautiful in all its Art Deco beauty, yet also nauseating. Not from the window, though. The window was streaming in the color of white, and how white should be white, and the music echoing through this certain part of NoHo, with musical notes draping its windy path like a royal drape, was much more majestic. Sad still, but sad in ways how Jesse could at least relate with. None of that jazz, but jade, just jade, mortal, not immorally drawn out. Seemed like Jesse had a neighbor that really liked listening to The Weeknd, and just about as much as Jesse did. Who knew? Pity. Right now, the song playing was Abel's The Birds Part 2, the second installment from that one Jesse first heard back in the Uber with Ray. But before that, back in 2012, hearing it for the first time, she knew immediately no other musician the Tens were gonna be this good. An immediate recognition of greatness, at least when it came to her taste and her taste's verdict. There's a hunk of melody and sadness in it all, that at least feels slow and not rushed. Rush, 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 it all feels, the madness and the never-ending madness of all that jazz. I hate jazz, just above her head. So hush, hush now, and just hush. And stay down here, until all the angry spirits that are towering above her lose interest and decide to go away. God, how much longer must I put up with this? She asks above, but of course gets no answer. And maybe for now, it's for the best. Of course she knows that the spirit world is real. Of course she does. She's known it and experienced it since childhood, ever since being visited by an angel that taught her to dance. No, not a dream, but something she truly did experience, and the last thing she was ever thankful of, and nothing else ever since. Outside her bathroom, Jessie hears this Jessica, not sure where the other two are, and she's laughing and laughing while not a joke has yet to be made. There's maybe two guys with her from the sounds of it. Two strange guys Jezebel has never met and never again will meet. Just another two different strangers in a couple of days, three maybe then afterwards, and just maybe one after that. Ships, ships, so many ships passing in the night, and not a single Titanic anywhere in the fleet. There's also the usual stench of southern comfort and pot in the air, and Jezebel knows she's going to need to keep herself away from the crowd as best as she can. They'll try to lick her up again. Of course they'll try, so maybe it's better to be here than out there. Actually, forget this. I'm getting something to eat, Jessie thinks, then gets out and exits the bathroom, still in her underwear. Big mistake. And now here's these two idiot guys staring all directly at her with a drunken stupor, straight up ogling all her goods since they're all out in display. One begins laughing, chuckling like a chainsaw trying to rev up. The other flashes some predatory eyes, streaming fast, and now seems to want to make a move on her. What the hell? Thinks Jessie. Aw, crap. He's one of those types. Hands coming out all ballistic. But then slammed on quick as Jessie escapes out of reach into her bedroom and then slams the door shut as the hard-knocking thud comes from the jerk that tried to make a fast one on her. Ah! She stubbed my fingers. Ah! Who was that? She's savage. No, she ain't savage. Don't mind her. That's just Jessie for you. She's a good girl, so let's all pretend that when she comes out, okay? Answers Jessica to the douche with the meat hook for hands. And since it's just Jessica and the two, Jezebel is sure one is going to luck out getting some action. Probably the one with the Freddy Krueger hands. Are you kidding me? Jezebel thinks. The things guys will do when they think there's rest assuredness in getting laid. Jessie now gets herself dressed more decently to get out in the open air. She exits the room again, flashes a stare across like a lighthouse with so many jagged rocks within her panoramic scene, and flashes a sight at all the mindless and soulless programming written on the walls in ones and zeros. There's Jessica sitting there on the couch, there's Laughing Boy, and there's the one with the sights on her now, bearing some teeth. But teeth out of some fight or flight mechanism coming from a place of resentment and fear. And Jesse's a mind reader when it comes to all this hedonistic mindlessness and can read all their thoughts. Especially the one that tried to sick onto her last, now thinking, oh hell, she's hot, hotter than Jessica sitting there. Damn, I'm thirsty now. Make a move quick. Confidence, women like confidence. Just show her that and she's yours. But before the dumbass is able to come up with a smooth operator line to do the trick, Jezebel is already walking fast out and now out the apartment door, and once again then slam. The door goes shut again, and wouldn't you know it again, smashing the idiot's fingers a second time. Shit, what a thought. The same dumbass regurgitates at her on the other side of the door. Sorry, Captain Meathooks, too slow. Better luck next time. Why don't you take your confidence and shove it up your you-know-what? You freaking rapist? I know that's what you are. Deep down inside, saw it in your eyes, I did. You piece of... And these thoughts are now speeding so fast with no handle, Jessie isn't even sure if they're just in her head or being done out loud in full volume. But doesn't matter. Little chance she'll see him again tonight. If there's anything commendable about her 3 roommates, they don't like sleepovers. Not anymore, at least. Although Jessie is sure one of those, if not both, guys will hook up with Jessica later. But there's been enough nights that have passed where a guy one of the 3 would hook up with woke up puking all over, on the couch, carpet, everywhere. And it was then that 3 finally decided to make the rule. Never a rule made in the process that they at least have Jessie partake in. To kick out any boy toy after 3 freaks had their way with them. Therefore, good. The only problem now is it'll be at least 3 in the morning before Jessie can go back, and now she's got some time to burn. Fine then. Let me have a night out to myself and treat myself to something better, she thinks, while headed towards the elevator to use it to go down to the garage basement and then to her car, and then where to, who knows. Jessie feels like surprising herself on the way there.